Hello, this is Scott, and this is the Hyper Report. Here are the quotes for various items. First, flip-flop. How things have changed. For years, starting under Bush, the U.S. wanted to overthrow the Assad government in Syria. Remember when John Frankenstein Kerry called Assad a war criminal committing genocide? Now, the U.S. is giving Assad intelligence against ISIS. What a flip-flop. Next, ISIS. U.S. political leaders and both political parties want to bomb ISIS in Syria. However, we need to do something. Stop arming them. The U.S. and our closest allies have long supported, armed, and trained Islamic jihadists in Syria for years. You don't have to be a fortune teller to have known that this was a bad idea. In fact, the U.S. is still financing the jihadists in Syria and wants to give them an additional $500 million. Next, global hyperinflation. According to Egon van Grey's, markets are behaving exactly as one would expect at the end of a major economic era. That is, markets are totally divorced from reality and what is going on both economically and geopolitically. We are experiencing the beginning of a hyperinflationary period, with hyperinflation so far being noticed only in financial markets, property markets, and other key assets such as art and classic cars. Next, home flipping bubble. Home flipping is going down. Reality Track reported that the second quarter of 2014, only 4.6% of single-family houses were flipped. This is down from 5.9% in the first quarter and down from 6.2% in the same quarter of 2013. In addition, the volume of flips has plunged 61% from a year ago, according to the flipping report. Next, freedom. Federal government goons would have the public believe that the rise of malicious and violent opposition somehow happened in a vacuum. The reality is that the established cronies know all too well why Americans are angered to the point of taking up arms. The reality is simple, folks. People see their freedoms that they have enjoyed for years being trampled on for some lame excuse for safety and security, and they are not falling for it. In addition, Congress proposing a law that forbids Americans owning body armor is not helping. Next, life. Microorganisms were found in samples collected on the hull of the International Space Station by cosmonauts during a spacewalk. The space station is 205 miles above the surface of the Earth. It is not clear the organisms were thriving, but if confirmed, this discovery may give more credibility that life could travel across space on comets and asteroids. Finally, please prepare now for the escalating economic and social unrest. Good day.